What's good, man? It's OG Jared. This channel where we talk about the spiritual truth and how to utilize energy on a day-to-day basis, man. And y'all check this out, man. It's real simple when you start looking at things for what it actually is. Especially if you look at it like, you know, if a musician told you his trick, it wouldn't be too much of magic no more. Now, someone might have a little way where they make it look more magical and stuff like that. But the point is, now that you know how the trick was expedited, you know what to expect. Now, a lot of times is when they starting the trick, they could use the same trick and kind of manipulate it a little bit, do it a little bit of different. Still having whatever it was they pulled out being orange, change it to a different color, have it be a different object, or however to switch around the trick or to get the most out of it they can, right? So when we start looking at things for just that on a very small level, we got to start actually realizing the world that we actually live in, which is when we all are wanting something different. And what I mean by we, as in the people that has the actual power and authority, is wanting something different from ones that say they is over us or have the authority over us. We want something different from them, but let them keep giving us the same game plan with the same conclusion as the end result. So we study seeing the same thing happen, basically is what I'm saying. And we study just putting it like, okay, you go, okay. Maybe we need to stop picking things out of this team. Maybe we don't even need this team no more. It just shocked me the way that, you know, how people think, and yet somebody will get up here and say, when you're being actual spiritual, that you're doing witchcraft. But yet they don't see that they're actually under witchcraft, and it's so good that they can't realize this is what they're under. So this falls under things like the religion, like business, like education, like entertainment, and like the politics. We see these things happen where no matter how much you vote, no matter how good you is, some of these things do not matter. Vote numbers don't matter. No matter how many times and how many cheers you cheer for that team, it don't matter. No matter how good the people is on that team, might not even matter. Real talk, because y'all done seen it happen where this team could be a sorrier team than this team, but somehow beat this team when they get to playoffs, or somehow beat this team when it come down to a very important or unexpected unexpected timing. So we see how, you know, bets get placed. You get what I'm saying, y'all? Because it be out there, and we be looking at it like it's us. So we be study battling each other, but we don't see how it's the powers that's actually holding this that we keep giving power to. You get what I'm saying? So we'll come up with all type of concepts of each in the way of how to attack each other. You'll get up here and you'll see people talking about energy vampires. They're explaining it the wrong way. If all was mental things, y'all making it out of something that's physical, which is getting weird. You get what I'm saying? So it's a lot of times where we'll see somebody make something out of the physical, and even when we get into the physical of how people like to see things, a lot of these things haven't been presented. So even as a Christian, if you're thinking God's going to bring a change, and the more you be a Christian, the more change is going to happen. Look at what's going on in the rest of the world. How can you even be thinking that's true? So if you're a politician, the same thing. You can't think that your votes matter, or you trying to change, or you trying to come up with these laws or learn these laws that they're giving you once again. Same thing with the science. If you're trying to be a teacher, you're not teaching the kids nothing new. You're teaching based off of their books. So when it get down to anything, and the way you got to run business, you can't run business and be nice. You got to run business and be cutthroat in order for your business to stay up and maintain. You get what I'm saying? So everything is tainted. So you got to know when you're playing in these fields or how to play it. Now, I made another video, of course, how to play the fields. There's different ways, though, and there's different approaches, and there's different ways of how you might see it. Because a lot of times people be looking at certain visions and certain biases that suit the behavior of what they're trying to do. So you'll see them sit up there and be like, yo, I support this because this is what I want at the end of the day. No, that's the gimmick to it. So they give you something to argue with or something to argue against. So once you already bit that, you already bit off the fruit of their label, which already have you in basically a trance. Y'all ever seen one of those old movies where somebody basically gives somebody like this evil spell because they bit this fruit, or they told them to eat this apple, or they told them to do this certain thing, or this and be in this certain position at this certain time? Now you have to start wondering to yourself, why is it so important that even the world has made it that not only do we just need a secure password, you got to have your birth date in there as well. You got to have so much of things that if it do get unlocked, it's like you giving yourself more out to it. You get what I'm saying? So now when I start looking at the world of what we live in literally right now and just say 2024, it's crazy because we have gave up so much to that. Even the AIs and all have different skins, different pictures of us, different things of us, to that the point that now if something want to get manipulated, you ain't have to be there at that time, none of that, but they could put you at that time, say you was at that location, and say this was you. You will have to already have your life basically on an autobiographical thing of recording, of just sitting there like, yo, let me catch my real life and put it as a documentary, but I'm just recording my actual day-to-day life. So it's going to be like you had to be on a camera in order to save yourself from these future events that may go on. So if y'all thinking that like a hacker could get in there from you just, trying to block your email with a password and two authentication code, and you trying to make, now you got to have picture ID and all these things right here, because now they're trying to protect it even more, which the more they protect, it seems like the more it get exposed. Just like the more medicines get created, it's like the more viruses study coming out. How is we study getting new diseases and we're study getting new things that's popping up on us? So at that point, you got to start questioning what is going on with the leaders of the society. And then when you start looking at it, it's a group of motherfuckers that don't give a damn about what we actually got to live, because they know the loops and gaps of how they're going to get around. And the things they're going to get around, they have nothing to do with us, but we're involved in their stuff. You get what I'm saying? They don't give a fuck about what we got going, but we got to give a damn what's going on with them. All the way to the point of it's bad on their end, it's just a mistake. Bad on our end, we get punished to the maximum level of whatever's going on, man. It's crazy out here. But when we start thinking about the games that get played, is look how quick right now, if somebody was to steal out of your house, how mad you would be about that. Now think about somebody that been bump stealing out your house, been stealing your whole life away from you, making you do things and you wondering why you felt like this. Like, damn, this shit feel like it's against my will a little bit. And yeah, it have. And that'd be that real will. You know what I'm saying? Where you didn't, no matter how you wanted to control your mind, you still had to play out and live in this situation right here, because this is what was to come from it. So no matter how strong you was in the mind, you still had to go through this. So that'd be like me, for example. I come through the hood, so no matter how strong my mind is, I still had to go through hood scenarios, hood events, things, but it just may not have got hit as hard because I was using my mind to show like, yeah, you can still get out of some of these situations, but all of them is impossible to invade, especially when they are watching it as a project to see what can fail the quickest. So we got to start realizing what is actually going on. Is it actually trying to be a project of helping us, or is it actually depopularizing us? So I was going to even talk about the subject of things that I see even with us going against each other. Now, one of the things I see about even us depopulation, and they don't even need depopularizing each other, is where they don't need us at no more, is when we are sitting here and you have the feminist push of, hey, celibacy for women, and then you have the semen retention for men. So when you start to look at life just being creation itself is the only good that's been coming from the world that we live in right now, then you're missing out on the only thing that it is good. So not only that, you're missing out on other parts of your life where you're supposed to have been able to release. So if it was meant for you to keep these things, everything has a release date or expiration date, is how I like to say. Because if you look at it, everything have a death to it. The same things that have a life have a death to it. So when we start to understand the God of creation and understand the God of life or the God of death, and start to understand these different terms of God, even though we just looking at it as how they use it sometimes is an energy source of, or this is what to happen. And it is as it is. You can't change it. This is what's going to come from it. But the way they do things, they manipulate it. So yeah, death going to come, but they might speed it up. You get what I'm saying? You feel me? Yeah, these things going to come, but they might enhance it. And that's what they're going to do as further as manipulation. They don't have the ability to create it, but they have the ability to enhance it. And what I mean by they, y'all already know. It's they and us. It ain't no other shit. It's they and us. Until us get our own minds, we become from them or they. So it's only two minds. You got the godly mind or the satanic mind. And in that case, and there's not no religious bias in that sense. So when we start to understand it, it's just like, hey, you got people that's out here for this purpose, and you got people that's out here for that purpose. You might not be here for that. You might not want to deal with these type of individuals, but they make all of us as a world deal with this shit. So like, it's like, yo, y'all deal with it and y'all figure it out and y'all work and y'all do everything, but hey, we'll be the ones that benefit from it. So when we start to look at magic, man, this witchcraft get deep. And I'm starting to realize that when I start to look at how many people, not only from the hood, is invested in presidential elect, and then they haven't helped nobody in the hood since God knows when. Even when they send out a little stimulus check, goddamn, they send that out, and then we get hit with inflation, or they'll send that out, and you get hit with recession before then, and you get hit with all these other things where they basically got to get that money back out of you, and get it back out of you quick, too. So what I'm starting to realize is, it's not about them lying, it's the magic behind it. It's how the lie look. As long as that lie look good and make people feel good, seem like in this world, and make it seem like something's going on, got them. You feel me? And it's just crazy because you're like, damn, that's a big ass thing. But yeah, people is more suitable with their comfortability of what's going on. Some of them don't want to sit there and probably have to go a week without power, because we have to figure out a different source of how we come up with our own power, which is we the ones that got to do it anyway. You get what I'm saying? It's just like a whole bunch of like real magic, because we see that we have the power. We see that we the ones going to work every day. We see that we the ones that's doing this, but yet we're arguing amongst each other more than trying to get to the conclusion of why we even arguing in the beginning. Who gave us these starting points? Why are we starting off like this? Who told you we got to do this? And we're not understanding that. We let somebody play the role of God, and God didn't even say do none of this stuff when it comes out of even street signs, streets, rules, and stuff like that, of the law like that. Now you got law things that's going to happen automatically, and this is why I said they get humans to participate in the most nastiest thing ever when they start to talk about celibacy and semen retention, because that is the thing that you're supposed to be doing, was creating life, or finding the way that things be created. And everybody can't create life in their lifetime. I definitely understand that. But that's not the lifetime or the life path for you at this time. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of times people don't understand that. You know how they try to even do it with the manipulation of fruit and stuff. You got fruits that bearing a lot of seeds, and then you got seedless fruit now. So we starting to see things too where maybe science do have an actual effect on people, or the ratio of things like that too. So when you starting to take away all that, it got to be just a simple thing, as in you probably had a lifetime where you regretted having kids. Now this lifetime you can't have them. You know what I mean? And as a spirit, it don't matter that you can't get back into that family, or that family ended. You still got to come back and get into another family. You still got to produce life, keep things going at a float. You get what I'm saying? So when we're dealing with this is what keep us spiritually declining. So where not only now people don't even want to create things, but they have a good subjective reason, which they gave you to. Hey, kids are too expensive. Hey, I don't have enough time. Hey, I just don't want to be with the other end because this gender haven't got it together. Hey, they started giving us things to argue with and against. And we started getting a list that's longer and longer, which we starting to see society crumble underneath it. You're starting to see less families. You don't have to believe me. You can go out and see yourself. So the things that a real spiritual person talking about is actually spiritual, but you can still see it. You get what I'm saying? Some of these people be talking about some shit that you were going to never see. And then we got to start questioning, is that crazy? Is that delusional? Like, what is going on here? You get what I'm saying? So when we start breaking it down, we looking at life right now. We looking at even the gender starting to go against each other. So we looking at like, okay, if it was a conquer and divide spell that was put out there, starting to look like it's getting even deeper on a level of, damn, now we even got the genders themselves going against each other. Like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow. And now we could take those two genders and mix them and all this shit, man. It's like a goddamn Rubik's Cube. They just taking things and just mixing them around and just changing them around until that piece fit and that puzzle fit, until they got that exact lineup they want, an exact position they want, color for color, charcoal for charcoal, eye for eye. So when they know that they got one of these wheels of you, they might ain't got you through your passion and love life, but they probably got you through your passion and desires. You get what I'm saying? They might ain't got you for the things you was looking into, but they got you for the things that you was unfulfilled about. See what I'm saying? So then they'll get you for the things like, yeah, you probably was trying to go here and go there, but you can't go nowhere. You get what I'm saying? Like they'll play with you like that, to where, why do you even have to have a passport to even be able to travel? That's how deep it get, to the point like we got to actually look at it like it is. They're trying to make you property of man. So if you can't realize that, and then you got to be like, damn, why are we lining up with these things? Why are we taking these things in deeper than what we should? And then, damn, now we starting to see, damn, it's us that's sitting here following this shit. Everybody stop following this shit, whether it's their religious views. It don't matter if we can create our own religion and don't use their views. It don't matter if we can create our own entertainment and don't have to go through their companies and shit. It don't matter if we had to use our own education system and all that and start rewording things, coming up with different words. But anytime you're playing a part of their game, you're going to see what happens. You get what I'm saying? And then when you go against that game, y'all see what happened. You get shadow banned, you get too big and somehow avoid the shadow ban. You get enforced, you go to jail for no reason. Then after that, if you somehow get out, then not only you go to jail for no reason, now they got to kill you, or now they just take everything away from you. Y'all been hearing a lot of people say this. Andrew Tate done been even one of the damn people to say this. So y'all see, we could see it all, witness, and be like, damn, what happened to this person that was creating this? Oh, they just died. Damn, they had health problems? I didn't even know they had health problems. Damn, they wanted to kill themselves? We didn't even know they had suicidal thoughts. So it started making you question a whole bunch of stuff. And all they doing is giving it to you and presenting it just like the way they feel like you'll want it. So sometimes they'll be like, yeah, he died because he was unhappy. And they don't never tell you what made him unhappy, what route, or none of that. They just let everybody fulfill in the things. And whatever way the most, they lean towards and be like, bam, put that out. Because it's the mass. So they watch the masses. They look at the balance like a scale. They try to play God, and they're looking at the scale of duality of the people. So they're seeing which people take up war for what. Is people still religious? Yes. It don't matter which religion, long as they still religious. Is people in our entertainment study focused on how we develop music, and this the only music that we're going to allow pop? Yes. Okay, if they still into our politics and only allowing us to run a government branch? Yes. So they go down this checklist as we the only ones that can tell you how to conduct the business and whether your business could be conducted with code enforcement and stuff like that? Yes. So then they get into things like, okay, in the education system, can you teach this about school? No, you cannot teach that at school. You have to teach this, and you have to teach it this way, period. So now you're looking at the things in school, and I had a teacher, thank God. You know what I'm saying? I had a teacher, and when I was in the 6th, 7th grade, and it happened to be the same teacher that my wife taught to, right? Well, my other half, because we hate using words like this too. So when it come down to that, this same teacher used to give us little slick things, throw little Easter eggs, as I want to say, right? He'll throw a little something out there. He'll be reading the history, breaking it down. He'll look, he'll be like, shh, like this bullshit. You know what I mean? He'll basically break down what's bull. He'll tell the truth. He'll present it the school way, in a way that, you know, under the politics of how they want you to teach it. Then he'll break down how it don't make sense of how this person even came to even take over these things. So he looking at it for just what it is. Who told these people to even come take over a group of people and call them property? So he looking at it for just what it is. So if you feel like you shouldn't be owned or property to nobody, even when it comes out of like little small little arguments in the house under your wife or your husband, it get deep, because we all be issued copies of the government, and our issued copies from the government, and our social security number is our barcode. Understand that. So when you getting scanned, it's not you getting scanned like a item inside the store but you getting scanned every time you have to present your identification. So therefore, it's still the same thing. And yes, we understand the reason why IDs. We understand that you're going to have a whole bunch of things of saying this is how it's supposed to be done. But who said it got to be done through these hands? So now we start to wonder, like, okay, if somebody's holding your money, and every time they holding your money, something seemed to be missing or something seemed to be off, I don't think you would trust that person to hold your money no more. So when it comes to us as Americans paying taxes and doing all of this, even as people across the world, we all so-called doing what the states wants or the state obligated for us to do. When we do these things the whole time and we still get nothing but, hey, you should have did something different, or you guys should have did something better. But yet the people that's telling us what to do is the ones told us to do this, and we go that route and we see that it don't work. Why is we still going it? So this lets you know it's a mass ritual and it's insanity. So when you got these people that's in these things, you can't even relate with nobody like that. Think about it. They made it like that. So if you is spiritual and you do understand all the things I'm saying, they made it that it's hard for you to actually genuinely relate with people, because they have these people who might run into a curve where they jump off the damn cliff and they be like, my religion, I'm ready to kill you. Hey, don't talk about my sports, I'm ready to kill you. Hey, don't talk about politics, they're real, you know. And they get more involved than the people that's actually presenting this shit. So they've been more than ready to kill you over than just, you know, figuring out what it is that themselves need to work on. So at the end of the day, we have the power. And y'all done heard this, I done say this multiple times on my channel, but it's the point of, not me. I don't have the power by my goddamn self. How the fuck I supposed to do something? You get what I'm saying? But how 30 niggas supposed to do something versus the world of like billions? So when you start looking at the percentile, you gotta realize, like, damn, if I'm one of those people that's looking at it like, damn, I can't get what's going on and I keep believing in this shit, sometimes you gotta wonder, like, damn, am I in the way? You know what I mean? And that's what be going on. They put a lot of people that's in the way, and they get these people to get on platforms, giving them the, you know, the vision of being able to present themselves in front of multiple people, because they could lose people at a more mass scale. So as soon as people start unwinding and getting themselves together, you got somebody getting up there and getting you more lost into why you should hate men, why you should hate women, why you should hate this race, why you should hate that race. And it's fucked up, because now we all attacking each other, and the motherfuckers that made a race, motherfuckers that made color difference, motherfuckers that put motherfuckers in poverty, over there like, look, they fighting each other. You know what I'm saying? It's like we all got bags over our head, and we out there stabbing each other, and the people that's our real enemy looking at the fight like, how bizarre. You know what I mean? And they looking like, wow, like, look at these people. Thank God we're not the ones that got to actually fight. And that's crazy. So we got to know what we be fighting for out here, y'all. And that's about all I'm going to say on it, man. I ain't going to go too far, because it be sounding like you trying to wake people up, and nowadays you can't wake people up, man. People just want to be asleep, and they're comfortable with their sleep. They're asleep. They got a Tempur-Pedic mattress. You know what I'm saying? In the mental realm, they got a Tempur-Pedic mattress, a Tempur-Pedic bed. And when they're in that sleeping slumber, like we was trying to get, you know, a couple years ago, when we was talking about all of these sleep realities in the 90s and stuff like that, growing up, now we see it in actual existence. We see sleeping beauty. The beauty of it is, as long as it look good, they don't give a damn. They're comfortable with the goodness of it. So we're looking at humans. If you look at all humans, not just a gender thing of looking at just females, look at it as males too. Look at it as, okay, if we haven't changed nothing and came together to build a group to change nothing, then what are we arguing for? You feel what I'm saying? It's like, damn. So when you start looking at it, for the reality of it, it's just what it is. You know, we teaching each other how to hate each other more than to get involved with each other regardless. And some things y'all don't supposed to be companion about. That's supposed to be in the separation between it. You know, sometimes you supposed to be wanting to fall back more, and he supposed to be willing to go take action more. It's just the winner got in a world that's so flip-flop and inverted that, of course, people gonna lose sight of that. But anyways, man, I'm out. OG Drip.